One of the hallmarks of many airline business models is adopting a single aircraft fleet strategy, something which may seem rather minute but actually plays a critical role in long-term strategic decision-making for many budget airlines. The purpose of this kind of low-cost carrier fleet strategy is, as always seems to be the case, to reduce costs. Indeed, budget airlines derive their entire competitive advantage over legacy airlines by lowering operational costs to the point that they can undercut legacy carrier prices. This discussion could apply to the all A320 family fleets of EasyJet, Wizz Air, Frontier, Spirit, AirAsia, and more. It could also apply to the all A220 fleet of Air Baltic. But in this video, we're focused on the Boeing 737 and the airlines that have made a long-term commitment to the type. More specifically, we'll look at what these airlines will do when there are no longer new 737 variants. Yes, many airlines have found success by operating all 737 fleets. By operating an aircraft fleet with just a single aircraft model, low-cost carriers can order aircraft in bulk, allowing them to negotiate massive discounts from manufacturers due to both the sheer value of their orders and the long-term commitment a budget airline would be making to the manufacturer. Furthermore, budget airlines also tend to buy the newest aircraft as they are the most efficient and allow manufacturers to score big wins for some of their newest models. The operational advantages of operating a single-type aircraft fleet extend beyond the capital savings and relationships with manufacturers that are created. For starters, an airline operating a single aircraft type will only ever need to train pilots and cabin crew on that model, meaning that training costs are significantly lowered. Additionally, a carrier's maintenance network will be built almost exclusively around a single kind of jet. Having set the standard for efficiency for decades, the Boeing 737 is one of the most commercially successful aircraft of all time. The twin-engine aircraft is ideal for short and medium-haul routes, and it has historically offered customers an impressive improvement in efficiency over competitors. As a result, the aircraft has long been a favorite of budget airlines across the globe, which have loved the idea of a short and medium-haul jet from a reputable manufacturer that offered superior efficiency and lower operating costs. Throughout the decades, Boeing has also rolled out updated versions of the 737, including the 737 Classic, 737 Next Generation, and 737 MAX, all of which have continued to improve on the efficiency of their predecessors. For these reasons, the Boeing 737 has become a favorite of budget airlines across the globe, many of which have decided to exclusively build fleets consisting of Boeing 737 family jets. Carriers like Southwest, Ryanair, and Alaska Airlines have essentially gone all in with the 737 family of jets, with each airline operating hundreds of airframes. At the time of making this video, Southwest has over 800 737s, while the Ryanair group has close to 600. Across the board, these airlines have found long-term commercial success by ordering 737 family aircraft, and all have placed large orders for the 737 MAX, the latest variant. The reputation of the Boeing 737 MAX, however, has struggled extensively due to 2 fatal crashes, safety incidents, and other issues leading to its grounding. As a result, it is unlikely that Boeing will produce another 737 family variant. As we see it, this will force airlines like Southwest, Ryanair, and Alaska to carefully consider what a future might look like without a Boeing 737 family aircraft for their fleet, and how they will transition to whatever comes next. It's a bigger problem than one might think. From the surface, one might be tempted to ask why this issue is that big a deal, as these airlines can simply purchase new aircraft that are not members of the 737 family. The Airbus A320neo family offers similar efficiency with even more versatility than the 737 family, and it carries a better safety reputation. However, making the shift to a competing aircraft could likely be a major challenge for multiple reasons, as these airlines have built their entire operational structures around the Boeing narrowbody. Everything from their route networks to pilot contracts pretty much revolves around Boeing 737s, and retraining pilots on a new kind of aircraft would be extremely expensive, time-intensive, and unpopular. Furthermore, these airlines would have to completely rebuild their maintenance networks to serve a new kind of aircraft. The potential solutions to this problem almost all involve the purchase of a new kind of aircraft, as keeping aging 737 MAX aircraft would not only be incredibly expensive, but it would eventually prove completely unfeasible. Carriers might just have the option to simply accept the massive costs and operational overhaul associated with shifting to a competing aircraft family. There is one potential option, however, that could make airlines' decisions a bit easier in this regard. For starters, just because Boeing is not planning on building a new 737 variant does not mean that they're not planning to build a successor for the aircraft. If this new Boeing narrowbody can match some of the maintenance infrastructure or operational specifications of the 737, it might make the transition easier for these carriers. Southwest, for example, is already looking to begin retiring older 737s as it looks toward the future, according to Flight Global. The company will have to consider what its network and operations would look like without 737 family jets. We imagine that for Boeing to retain the loyalty of such carriers, it would have to do something similar to Airbus's Mixed Fleet Flying or MFF program. This is how MFF is described by Boeing's European rival. As a result of flight deck and aircraft control systems, it enables pilots to be certified to operate more than one type from the Airbus fly-by-wire product line on a regular and concurrent basis. Airbus commonality extends from the flight deck into the passenger cabin as well, with a maximum use of similar systems, control panels and procedures within the various aircraft families. The unique level of technical commonality between Airbus fly-by-wire aircraft also streamlines maintenance procedures, resulting in significantly reduced costs. Airbus adds that MFF also enables airlines to interchange differently sized aircraft at short notice without crew scheduling difficulties, allowing them to better match aircraft capacity to passenger demand. Notably, MFF was approved by Japan's Civil Aviation Bureau for ANA, so that pilots can fly both the Airbus A320 and A380, switching back and forth more easily. While the aircraft's size might not be so drastic, Boeing will definitely need to design its 737 successor with a similar cockpit layout in order to reduce training and to smooth the transition between the 737 family and whatever comes next. Obviously, Boeing will need to make some fundamental changes for a 737 successor to stay competitive. Perhaps increased ground clearance for larger engines or larger cargo holds to accommodate containers. No doubt we can expect some differences so that it's not just a 737 under a different name. After all, airlines will want to see the latest technological improvements incorporated into any new design. But ultimately, this is very much a question for the future, which is coming up quickly. Currently, most major 737-only airlines have massive orders on the books for 737 MAX aircraft, meaning that it will likely be decades before the last 737 leaves Southwest, Ryanair, or Alaska. So, if we imagine that airlines will be starting to consider placing orders for a 737 MAX replacement in 15 to 20 years, then the clock is ticking for Boeing to design, market and certify this future aircraft. What do you think all 737 airlines will do? Let us know by leaving a comment. Simple Flying publishes over 150 articles every week. If you're looking for the latest aviation news and insights, visit simpleflying.com.